This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. Today, I'm very lucky joined by Cameron Else. So thank you very much for coming on, Cameron. It's good to see you, mate.
Good to see you too, bro. How you been?
Yeah, I've been all right, all good. So how have you been? What have you been up to then, Cameron?
Obviously, unfortunately, haven't been able to fight due to delay in my visa. So apart from getting ready for that fight, and then obviously the fight being pulled in July, then then I got told I'd be fighting on the London card, but then they changed the London card back to Las Vegas, so then I couldn't be on that card because I didn't have the visa. So apart from that, just been ticking over, really training and just hoping that I'll get the news soon about my visa.
Do you have an idea when the visa might get sorted, or you've no idea at all?
I'm being told end of September should hopefully have my date, and yeah, should be sorted hopefully by then. Hoping to fight before the end of the year for sure.
And so do you, obviously now, since you haven't been able to fight, you've been doing some training. Apart from the training, what else have you been doing? Because I've seen you've been riding your Harley Davidson motorcycle.
Yeah, especially like with the weather being a lot better now. I like to get out on my bike as much as I can. But yeah, just literally that's it really, pretty much. Obviously, because of the whole lockdown thing and not being able to go to on holidays and stuff, I had to cancel a couple of holidays because of COVID restrictions and that. So I've just been ticking over here, training, and when I'm not training, I'm out on the bike.
Didn't Cowboy Cerrone get you into that sort of thing?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, living with him out of the ranch, goes out on the bikes all the time, and at the time I couldn't go on the bikes because I could. He wanted me to, but I didn't do my bike license and all that, and I wasn't prepared to just jump on the Harley and give it some. I wanted to do it properly. So yeah, it was definitely worth doing.
That's interesting. I didn't know you lived on Cowboy's ranch for a while. What was that like then? Because Cowboy, he loves to have a good time. He's always on the jet skis or paintballing or horse riding. What was it like staying on Cowboy?
Yeah, great. I mean, stayed there for years, to be honest. Obviously, I was going out to Albuquerque, and I've come close with Cowboy, so he's like moved to the ranch. So spent years up there. Obviously, now I spend time in Las Vegas, training there, the PI and stuff. So I'm not so much there at the ranch as much now. But we'll be getting out there just to like see him. But often he's in Vegas a lot anyway, so he comes up. So I still see a lot of him. But yeah, ranch life's great.
Yeah, I can
Great.
imagine. I've seen his Instagram page for it and YouTube. It does look like quite good fun. Yeah, so let's talk about what's happening in the bantamweight division right now. You've got fights like Chito Vera or Sugar Sean and Malley. Do you have any opponents that you might in mind you'd like to face, or whoever the UFC really gives you?
To be honest, like I'm in a position where I can't really say too much at the minute, given that I need to get that win, which I will do after my next fight, and I get a good win and I get back to the way I win fights. Be sure I'll be on that mic and I'll be calling for the fights that I'd like. I'd love to fight Sean O'Malley. I think that's an easy fight for me. I think there's loads of good fights for me within the division. I'm not going to be one of those guys that sit back and be like, oh, I'll just wait for whoever to get put in front of me. I'm not. I am going to be calling out people who I want to fight, and at the end of the day, closed mouths don't get fed. And I believe that if you're not calling for people, then the UFC would just give you whoever. And at the end of the day, I want the big fights. I want the big money, and I want to get to that title fight as quick as I can. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. We just said there, closed mouths don't get fed. One person who does talk and walk the walk is Paddy Pimler. He made his UFC debut recently. You fought Paddy back in Cage Warriors in 2013. Does it kind of frustrate you at all, him getting all this hype, considering you already have a win over him?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous of how much like the UFC pushed him. They want him to be the face of I say the UK MMA scene. They haven't got anyone. I mean, let's be honest. Apart from they had Darren Till, but obviously he's up and down at the minute. He's going through a bit of a rough patch. You got Leon Edwards. It just seems that don't really like Leon Edwards is great. I think he's phenomenal, but I think in terms of stardom, his personality isn't really there yet. And I think like with Paddy, they know he's got that personality. Like myself, I believe that once I get my win and I start having my FaceTime on the interviews and start calling for people, I think I'll go that way too. I'm very outspoken. And that is the same with Paddy. I mean, with all due respect to Paddy, at the end of the day, the kid's worked hard. Like, fair play to him. Do you know what I mean? I can sit here and naturally, I'm jealous about it and I'm angry a bit, but it's all with like good intention, you know. Like at the end of the day, it's only going to be good for us, and who knows what will happen down the line.
Yeah, it is only good to. It is only good for the UK MMA scene. That's quite interesting. What you say about Leon Edwards there, because Paddy Baddy, he's already on nearly 600,000 Instagram followers, and that's with one fight in the UFC. And Leon Edwards is on 200K. He's had 14 fights in the UFC. It's just what happens when you talk. And so, how important do you really think it is that fighters sell the fights and able to market themselves outside the octagon?
It's at the end of the day, like that's what it is now. You got to be a complete package. You got to have a fighting style where it's exciting, and you got to be able to. At the end of the day, fans love to know, how you're gonna win. They want to hear you say, "I'm gonna knock him out," or "I'm gonna do this," and then go and do it. So it's massive. Like that, you're gonna get a bigger following quicker, and it's just your personality. I mean, even if you're outspoken and you're hated, you still got people wanting to watch you get knocked out. So at the end of the day, like it doesn't really matter. You really don't. I think that if you've got if you want to go to the top, then you need to be the full package. And like it's your fighting style as well. Like your fighting style helps out massively. Like I'm quite lucky because how I fight. Like I can honestly say in every fight that I fight, I go out for the kill. And all my wins are first round knockouts pretty much. So I've never had a win outside of the first round. So when the fan base are going to hear me on the mic turn around and say, yeah, I'm going to knock this guy out in round one, they love it. They want to hear that. So I think it's massive. It's a big part. Like you say, he's on 600,000 followers. I mean, let's be honest though. The UFC have put him on every post going, like non-stop. They've non-stop put him out there. So if they did that more with Leon Edwards, he would have a lot more following. If they did that with other fighters like Billy Arnold Allen, like let's be honest, he's unbeaten in the UFC. He's on a cracking win streak. He's probably right now the hottest prospect, I think, in the UK, considering what he's done. But he hasn't got the recognition. And I think he's only on like, what, 45,000 followers, maybe? I'm not too sure exactly what he's on, but it just shows at the end of the day, it comes down to what the UFC want to push out as well. But you've got to speak up, man. You've got to speak up. And the main thing I honestly believe, be true to yourself. Like whoever your personality is, speak it. And some people in the UK scene, just ain't their personality. Like they're quiet, they're laid back, and it's boring.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I always find it funny when the fighter wins and then Joe Rogan or Michael Bisping, whoever's doing the interview, say, is there anyone you want to call out? And they say, oh, I haven't really got an opponent in mind. It's kind of wasted space almost,
Yeah, it is. It's a wasted opportunity. At the end of the day, like you may not want to trash talk people, like because some people don't like to do that. And to be honest, I've never actually like just stood there and like trash talk fighters, but I will turn around and say who I want to fight, and I believe I can knock them out. Now, regardless, people will take that and love that. They love hearing that. So they give me the mic and say, "Who would you want to fight next?" Right, I've got to tell you. I'll tell you. I've got a list here. This is who I'm coming for, and this is who I want to fight. You're asking me, so I'm going to give you an answer. I'm not going to turn around and sit there and go, "Oh no, well, whoever the UFC want to put in front of me." I just think that's just boring. The UFC don't want to hear that. They want to hear you call people out. And at the end of the day, if you're calling people out, right, you're calling out fights that stylistically match up well with you. And if you don't, then you could get fed. If you get fed against stylistic fighters, which are just bad matchups for you, not because they can like knock you out or beat you in that thing, but they're just boring, like just hold you down or whatnot, and it's just a real boring fight. You don't want to be sucked into that. So speak up, I say. Like, it's definitely a wasted opportunity when fighters don't say anything.
Yeah, you definitely want to come forward fighters rather than just a grappler, kind of like Damian Maya, who can always a kind of negative fan-friendly style. Only one more point, I don't want to take too much of time up, but big fight coming up this month between Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
You can never count Nick out, regardless of how long he's been off. You can never count him out because he's just so durable. I don't think Nick's ever been finished in a fight. I'm going to have to... It's a real hard one. I mean, realistically, paper-wise, and going off everything, Robbie Lawler should knock him out, or he should win this fight. But you can't bet against Nick Diaz. Just can't bet against him. So I'd have to say Nick Diaz and it by TKO.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I remember Dana White saying, imagine there was no maximum amount of rounds and it would just be who finished the other person first. Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz be winning fights the whole time. All right, Cameron, thanks so much for your time today, mate. So where can we find you, Instagram and Twitter then?
So obviously Cam Cheetah MMA on Instagram and Twitter.
Perfect. I'll put your Instagram in the link in the description. All right, Cameron, thanks so much for your time again, mate. It's great speaking to you. Thank you.
No, mate. Bye.